Are you alone right now? Are you sure? Have you checked your windows? Have you locked your door? Are you spooked? Well, you will be after these 4 stories on Goosebumps. Just kidding, guys. Happy Halloween 2021. You are now on the Don and Akeem podcast. You can follow us on
Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, Grindr,
definitely on Grindr.
and many more.
There's Tinder, there's Grindr, and what do we have for the ratchet bitches?
Bumble.
Is that a real thing, really?
Bumble's a thing.
Oh.
Plenty of Fish has the real ratchet.
Plenty of fish for the lesbians. We keep leaving the lesbians out. I don't know.
Yeah. They don't have like scissor. Like
That's right. This guy should be this guy right here.
how would you spell it? SCISSR.
That's perfect marketing.
Scissor. Yeah, just scissor. We drop the OR. Just
Sizzle
the O.
her.
Scissor.
I think we just lost any lesbians who were like ever listening to our podcast just now.
Oh man.
I apologize on behalf of the LGBT community. I'm saving this right here. It's all good. But welcome to Akeem and Don podcast. It is the last week of Halloween. I hope you guys have had a good month, some good scares. We're going to try to give you some fun, some scares, and some stories. Starting with what Halloween means to us when we were a kid versus now. I'm going to ask you first.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Halloween growing up, it was just like, obviously I was big on candy, you know what I mean? But like, you had to work for it. Like, growing up in our old neighborhood, Somerdale, it was like, every block has 60 fucking houses. And it was just pillowcases and just up and down every fucking house for a fun size.
That sounds wonderful, though.
Yeah, it's worth though. I think one time when I was like 7 or 8, like I filled up a whole thing, dropped it all. Like I dropped off the candy at my house, like a whole sack, and went back out.
Scamming.
Yeah, just not at the same houses, but there's so many houses in that area that it's like.
Oh, I thought you meant like, and then like go back or like if it.
Oh, nah, just like I hit this half of the neighborhood, drop my stuff off, and I go to the other half.
That's what I would have did. I'm gonna change my costume, get double.
Oh yeah, just double. Yeah, just go out in 10 costumes. Oh, there's so much legwork though. I like just being an adult. You can just just buy 2 pounds of Sour Patch Kids at a time. Just fucking eat those. You know what I mean? Just...
So does it have more meaning as a adult? Because obviously, like as a kid, that's literally just what Halloween is supposed to be. Yeah. But when you get older, you realize it's
Yeah, I think it has less meaning as an adult. I think now that I'm an adult, I'm like, all right. This is stupid. Like it's as a kid, you're like, oh man, I'm dressed as like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That was my jam for years. I'm like, that was
which one?
I think I it was like Raphael or Michelangelo. No, Donatello.
I was just about to say he was the coolest.
I kind of got stuck on the Donatello because my parents lied to me and said I was smart, right? So like Donatello does machines, Mm-hmm. So like. Yeah, I remember like everything I could when I was a kid. I would turn a broomstick into a bow staff, that kind of shit.
Him and Raphael definitely, because Raphael is the one with the side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
See, I identify as Raphael now.
Okay.
Because I'm like an angry man, But like I think back in the day, it was like Donatello is more suited because I'm the Don, so it's
right. That goes good together.
Right.
Okay, and I definitely agree with you. As an adult, it's stupid. I mean, it's just like I can buy candy any time of the year, I guess, and dressing up is what I do as like a side thing anyway. So it's just
yeah, it's not a day in the office for you, right?
It literally feels like the same. It's just you have to deal with a bunch of bratty kids who is looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But I do love the festive part. This part I love. By the way, do you guys like this setup? Because like I'm living for it. The pumpkin here, the little face right here that like honestly just it embodies me.
That's you.
And like how I just feel. Life is just like, whoa. Getting out of bed is just,
Yeah, that's me right there. Just big fat.
Scheming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Always scheming. There you go.
Scheming ass pumpkin. Waking up.
Nice.
Pouring up.
So, on another subject, we wanted to bring up the most goriest anime. Me and him he watches a lot more anime than me, but it can get pretty gruesome. So I figured we would bring that into the table. And also in the comments, you guys can list your favorite and most gory anime scenes ever if you want to contribute. Do you want to start? Mr. Don?
Yeah, so you ever watch Neon Genesis Evangelion?
I have not.
You've heard of it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you have the original series, it's like 26 episodes. And the last 2 episodes, people really didn't like the ending. So, they wrote like death notes to her, or like death threats or whatever, to the guy that made Evangelion. And he made a whole new movie that redoes the last 2 episodes. And there's this fight where the one, like the chick in red, right? She hops in her little fucking machine or whatever, and she fights like 9 dudes. And it's like the most bloody, just gruesome. Like the first guy, she like takes him and twists him apart. Like he's a big machine thing, but he's also biological. He's organic.
Nice. Okay.
And she has like a couple minutes, like 3 minutes or whatever, to fucking kill all of them. And it's just like, it's gory, but it's also like action packed. Like it's really fucking, she's like screaming the whole time. She's pissed off. It's the best. Actually, I'll show you later.
Okay, yeah.
It's the best fucking scene in anime ever. And I think that's fucking.
And they bullied the into like redoing it. Weird.
Yeah. They people didn't like the way it ended because the last 2 episodes were like this psychological, like this delve through the main character's like psyche and mindset or whatever.
Okay.
And then in the end, it's like it's all right. You know what I mean?
He tried to make it right. I guess that's cool. If you love your fan base, like that's
Yeah.
We're just bratty.
And they just wanted to see, hey man, that was a weird way to end it, And so yeah, he just redid it as basically an action film.
We're gonna put a clip actually in here so you guys can see that. I'm gonna put one when this is so you can see what he's talking about.
Like a picture-in-picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So or a link or to click somewhere in this box over here because we're getting so official now, guys. Like with a capital O. But for me, I'm gonna, because I know that you guys are probably gonna think that I'm gonna give an anime. I'm just gonna give Happy Tree Friends, which technically to me anime can be just animation. I'm not gonna give you like a Dragon Ball Z or anything like that. Happy Tree Friends is the most fucked up cartoon I think I've ever seen, where they just take fluffy little, cutesy little animals, Care Bear animals, and they make them fuck each other up. Like, I'm talking pulling each other's teeth out, pulling heads off, guts, gore, everything. You don't expect to be getting that from this show. And I remember when I first watched it, my mom was just like, what the fuck are you watching? This is sick. And I'm just like, I'm your son. You don't know me? Like, what else would I be watching? You birthed me.
It's like very Ren and Stimpy-esque, kind of.
Ren and Stimpy as well. Oh, yeah, there's tons of examples in that kind of way. I honestly, Real Monsters was pretty gross as well.
Yeah, there's something like just extreme about it, right? Even though that's not one of the worst ones, it's just very like, it's grotesque. It's like, what are you...
It makes it worse to me because it's more childlike.
Yeah.
So because it's supposed to be more childlike, I feel like some of the eerie stuff actually back then was. Like when Ren and Stimpy, you see their brains gushing out, or Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is still one of the most creepy, if you say what the most creepiest cartoon I've ever seen, would probably be Courage.
Yeah, it's like a psychological horror, right? Like it's just him in the thing and he's just scared for his life every episode. Like,
it's life. It's the tales of life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like it says, like, I always felt like that when I was a toddler. Right? When I was like 3 or 4, I felt like Courage, because I'm just like...
What the fuck is going on?
I'm just in this world. I remember I had a babysitter, and like there was this guy who would come around, he was just huge, he had like a beard, mustache, bald head, and just that image of him scared me, I was just like, what is this thing, Like...
This entity.
Yeah. And like that kind of encompasses Courage, where he's just like... Because he's out in the burbs, out in the middle of nowhere, right?
It's the scariest place to live.
Yeah, and it's just like any noise outside, anything can just be, that could be a monster. It could be some kind of unspeakable horror.
You don't know. And the quietest places is where the most strange shit always goes down.
Yeah.
Where you feel the safest, like you were saying last time. You're concerned about, the person who's under it. Like, where no one knows what's going on. That's why, that's a lot scarier than the spooky people who are showing themselves. So we're looking pretty dead here, is it?
Yeah, I guess we died the other day. Is that what happened? We're just...
It was a terrible death.
Kieran killed us. Our producer.
Yeah, he said we were trash, and...
Yeah.
I think my soul died.
I never expected it. He came right through the door with 2 knives.
So that's why we look like this. Or maybe just because I did a shitty job in makeup. Like, honestly, I got this done in like 2 minutes. I just really was like, yo, we should, like, keep it festive and put some makeup on. This kid's like crying around trying to do his makeup, tearing up.
Yeah, you're an emotional bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, women do this every day. They do this every day. They, you know what I mean? Get it together. But we're trying, we're gonna have something a little bit different on Halloween Day. This is Tuesday. Halloween is this Saturday. We might even show you some clips and insert in there. But if you remember, we talked about scary stories that actually happened to us, and this guy probably has one of the best ones. So take a good listen in.
All right. So check it out. I must have been 17 or 18 years old, right?
Okay.
Hanging out with a buddy of mine. And really at the stroke of midnight, we end up back at my house. We park. I look at the time. It's midnight. I'm like, ooh, it's creepy, right? We hop out of the car, and we went to the back. We usually enter from the back door. So we went towards the back of the house, and on the back porch, I shit you not, we saw what looked to be a centaur. Like a half horse, a half like a man, like a torso, attached to a fucking thing.
Creepy.
So it saw us. Like, I don't think it looked at us, but it heard us. And then it just bolted into the woods out back. Like, it just moved. It couldn't have been a person. Because the way it moved into the woods, it was so sure of itself. Like, it lived there. Okay. You know what I mean? It just, right into the dark. And so me and my buddy, we saw this thing. And we're like, oh shit, you saw that, right? And he's like, yeah, I saw it. You saw it though? I'm like, yeah. And we were all fucked up and went into the house. And we were hiding out in the den and we were scared shitless. Because they were like, dude, centaurs are real.
You both saw it. That's reassurance right
We
there.
both saw the centaur and we were like, holy fuck. I actually wrote a note. Like a fucking hidden note. Like, if you find this, here's what happened to us.
God.
A centaur got us. And we stayed up all fucking night. And we were just scared. And we didn't see him. He didn't come back or anything like that. And it was really funny because in the morning, I told my grandparents. I was surprised I made it the morning. I was in the morning. I was like, oh, thank God I'm alive. It's fine. Monsters can't get me now.
It's all good now here.
Yeah. Told my grandparents. I told them about what happened. And my grandpa, he's an asshole. He's like, oh yeah, it must be the Meadowbrook Man-Eater.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's an old thing. He used to, back in the 80s, he used to eat people. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he was fucking with me, you know? It took me like a year or two later to really sit down and think about it. But what we saw was like a deer. It just, there was some sort of optical illusion happening, right? But at the time, we were like, there's a fucking centaur. Centaurs are real. It's after us. It ran away from us, but it's after us. Like, and my grandpa was fucking with me even further. He's like, yeah, dude, there's a thing. It's out. I used to live in Meadowbrook, a little bit above Philly. And he's like, yeah, you didn't know about that? Yeah, he played.
Well, are you sure it was the deer? You're 100%?
I had to have been there. Because I really thought back on it, and I'm like, maybe it was just, because it was dark, so maybe I just didn't see it right, you know?
But maybe it wasn't a centaur, but it was something else that still wasn't a deer. You never know.
Could have been something. Could have been a person. I feel like it was wearing a white t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, it had a white torso.
Okay.
Like, it was weird, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But the way it ran into the woods, it just knew where it was going. Like, it ran straight into the darkness.
And how old were you again?
I was 17, 18 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's creepy. And then when you brought up the man-eater part, to me, that also was just like, that's even, even if it wasn't that, that's creepy too.
Yeah.
I'm like super, like, I believe in aliens and all this weird, I'm saying, hey, you never know what's out there. So your story was creeping me out. Where some people might have been like, that's not real. Or I was with you. I'm a believer. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I believe he saw it.
Yeah.
Especially when you said that you and your friend also saw that as well. Just because it wasn't the one creepy thing doesn't not make it another new creepy thing.
Yeah, because we were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, it definitely had a hind quarter to it, right? And I was like, yeah, that fucking hind quarter. But then it had this white torso, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, why couldn't it have been wearing a t-shirt? Maybe it was from North Philly.
Maybe.
A North Philly centaur, like...
Gangster centaur.
Gangster, right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, white tees were in back then.
They're still in now.
Yeah, but like back then it was a
real big 4 extra large tee with what's the capris, the pants that looked like high waters, but they were supposed to be shorts.
Yeah, just the baggy jean shorts.
Yeah,
fucking
Little Bay. I think that's around that time. Ludacris.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy.
Like the Billie Eilish fit. Yeah.
She's bringing that back.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool when I saw that. Okay.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, for me, I am a scaredy cat. So there's a bunch of scary stuff in general for me. And I'm also spiritual, so you guys already know where this is going. And my witness, our camera guy in the back, Mr. Kieran, and our also fellow podcast mate, actually is, he can say that this is true because he was there. So I think that when you manifest things, you can manifest anything, even though it's not. For instance, saying Candyman 5 times, you're not going to get Candyman. But because you were looking in the mirror trying to hope for something negative, you're going to get that. You're not going to get Candyman, but you're definitely going to get a spirit. I completely believe spirits and ghosts and different things, and just in general like that. So Kieran actually stayed out one night, and he's my roommate. And I was just talking to him, and I was just letting him know, like, it just feels like really weird in here. And I hope like there's, I'm just not feeling very comfortable in here, but I don't want to say too much. I'm letting him know I don't want to say too much of what I'm feeling because I don't want to manifest it. So I try to keep it a little quiet. After I'm done talking to him, after I said that, even more stuff starts happening. My cat starts getting weird. My cat's looking around. I have a black cat, by the way. He's looking around. It's just like staying by me, like he's trying to guard me and whatnot. I just get weird ass feelings, and I just start hearing stuff. I'm getting very scared at this point. And I message Karen. I'm like, hey, like, I'm like really like not comfortable. I'm going to insert a clip again in here so you guys can see what I'm talking about and the difference of my cat. I'm just watching my cat. My cat is just staring at the corner now, and it won't stop staring at the corner. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What are you seeing? So I get one of those little vibration apps that just shows you when things could be moving or clouds. It's a little TikTok thing. You can say it's real or it's not real, but I'm putting it around my room. I'm looking around. You see the little fuzzy bubble right here. Do you see the little fuzzy bubble right there? Then I look at it again, and it's right in front of my face, but it started where my cat was looking. And when you look at the clips, you just see my cat super spooked. So by the time I go to bed, guys, I have the worst nightmare of just a tall shadow, what I think is a man standing over me. I wake up and I am freaked. It is the same man who I've had a dream about 2 times before. One time waking the whole house up, waking Kieran up, screaming and saying, what was it that I said?
Who sent you?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
This is not a fake story. Like, I'm telling you, super, super scary. I believe in spirits. But the thing is that I feel like I manifested that.
Oh, shit.
I feel like whatever spirit was in the house, I gave life because I fucked up because I called it a he. The moment I said he, I gave it control.
Oh, like you think it's like pronoun sensitive.
Not like I'm giving it a face. I'm giving it a character.
Okay.
I don't truly think it was anything near until I made it up. I hoped for it.
Yeah, like it's kind of like magic isn't real if you don't believe in it.
Right, exactly that.
Yeah.
It is exactly that.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you. That's why I say people who don't believe in ghosts, why nothing happens to them, is because they don't believe it. That's the power in it right there. You don't believe that it can hurt you. So you're fine. You don't feel the creepiness. But because I believe in it, I'm screwed. And my cat was also weird. Animals, I just feel like pick stuff up. And while other people don't like black cats like that, I love them, especially for Halloween time. So that's my spooky story. I hope you enjoyed.
Dude, I'm trying to manifest some spooky, like Billie Eilish.
Some like
Titties.
some size double D boobs.
You ever see her like in the tank top and the shorts running to the corner store?
I had no idea her boobs were that big until this year.
Like throw in the clip, dude.
They're like
They're there, man. You know, I believe in them. They're magic to me, and
I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in those titties.
I believe all titties.
Oh my god. Boobs are great. Rather, it doesn't matter what you're into. Boobs are. I mean, they're comfy to lay on.
Oh yeah.
I think that's about all for me of why I like boobs as a gay man. But
yeah, I can go in on a few more. I can take it from right. Yeah.
why don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. They're just.
Are we being subtle now?
They are like, yeah, right. They're once you feel like they're so surprising because you feel like you've seen them all in life, you know, and then you just find like a new pair of titties, you know, just like it's a brand new, it's a new size, a new shape, a new thing going on, a new thing attached to it. You know what I mean? Just like, holy shit, look at those.
I find it interesting when, like, well, for me, trying to make a costume for someone, or the importance of boobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that they do matter, and that size absolutely does matter. Wonder Woman, example, like, she's a character where having boobs just does not, I don't feel like, matter for her and her character. It doesn't do anything or mean anything for her character. But for a character that absolutely is going to need a nice, like, boob, it is going to be a dead or alive character in a fighting game.
Oh, yeah.
This is important because this is a game where we're playing this game for what reason? To fight and to see boobies. No one's watching Wonder Woman to look at boobs.
Yeah.
So there's the importance in that. And as costume, the reason why I bring up costume design is because when you're trying to make a costume for someone who's trying to be a dead or alive character, you know that you're going to have to make those straps right. You know you're going to have to make whatever the front part less so that you're getting more boob and side boob than anything else.
Yeah.
Because then why else will we play it? And me, I also really like, I'm a gay guy. I love playing the girls in video games. Chun-Li, Nina from Tekken. Who else do we have? Who are like good girl fighters in video games that I always like to play as? I like to be in a bad bitch. So definitely I love the girl who had the big boobs, the cool dress and the nice long hair or something like that.
Morgana from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay.
She had like nothing covering her titties. Big huge titties, very little covering it. Like I remember being a kid, like 10, 11 years old, getting boners from the windscreen. When you win with her and she leans over.
I don't know this character. I have to look up this character from Marvel vs. Capcom because in that I always play the Storm.
Oh yeah.
Or a Rogue. I think she had pretty big boobs as well.
They always have solid like there is solid like C-cup, right?
Okay.
Like C-cup is the go-to for like female characters.
Okay.
Because it's like she's got a rack, but they're not. You know, it's not a B cup where it's like, oh, it's a little something.
Why do they have an importance in boobs that we don't have an importance in, like, I guess, no, I was going to say, I guess for men, it doesn't matter with our underwear. There doesn't need to be like well, how big are your balls? But I think that should matter because that does matter, no?
I mean, I think they're making underwear like that now, where they're taking the dick and separating it from the balls.
Yeah, okay, so you're absolutely right. And they already have underwear like this, and this is the most cool, and we're getting off subject of Halloween.
Yeah. Morgana.
That you're talking about, that's
Yeah.
okay. I have played her. She is actually really like that character. I haven't played her in Marvel versus Capcom, but she has her own game.
Yeah, Darkstalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like video games have been giving, kids boners for the first 16 years of their lives.
That's where your upbringing is.
Yeah, that's what you start out. You're born into this world of like big titty cartoons. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird place to start and then somehow become a normal dude.
So have you played the not this Mortal Kombat, but the last two before that? Because now they took in the whole boob and they don't do that with the Mortal Kombat girls anymore.
They toned it down
a lot. They're actually trying to talk about protests. People were trying to protest that for the last Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
Women were as well. They were saying we don't, not all, but I've seen some girls are saying we don't mind. Not every female has a problem with girl characters half dressed.
Yeah.
Because you can't speak for everyone.
Yeah. I know in League of Legends they address it because there's this one character, Jinx, who has an A cup.
Okay.
And they're just purposely no boobs. And it's just this funny thing. Like all the other characters got boobs, but they got one that's
As they should.
She got hungry titties.
Size matters, most definitely. I'm trying, and as far as the Mortal Kombat controversy, lesbian women also were speaking up that we also like eye candy. Once again, you're making everything about men. Yeah. Once again, you're speaking for women. Once again, you know what I mean. So it's just it's a slippery subject.
Yeah.
We're going to see plenty of boobs for our Halloween party. I can't wait to dress like a quote-unquote slut. I'm going to be... If you guys watch Friday the 13th and you know the camp counselors...
Yeah.
I'm doing 80s camp counselor. So the guy's got the hat that says Camp Crystal Lake in the shirt, and he has the little 80 jogger shorts.
Yeah, he's got the Will Chamberlain shorts. Yeah.
I'm going all the way in. Guys can dress like sluts for Halloween too. It's our one time a year also, and I've been waiting a whole year for this, especially in a pandemic. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that we see more sluts. Honestly, less is more. I'm all for it. That's what. So to re-answer that question, what Halloween became about when you're an adult, it's about drinking alcohol and dressing like a slut.
Yeah, I might have to showcase my balls if that's the case.
Rock
I can't be outballed.
Yeah. I won't outball you though.
Yeah. There's a respectful
right.
We respect each other's.
If you were anyone else, I would, but because you're my bro, I won't outball you. I'm not gonna do you like that.
I appreciate that. No, I'm respectful about it. You know what I mean? I'll stick to my. My zone defense. You know what I mean? All right, he's got nuts. You know what I mean? All right.
This is why I love this guy, is because, you know what I mean, I could count on him to, meet me halfway and be respectful. You know what I mean?
There's enough nuts to go around. Mm-hmm.
There literally is. Can't we all just, get along and just respect each other's balls?
Yeah, yo, bro, nice nuts. You know what I mean? That's how every party should be.
And it shouldn't be uncomfortable.
Should be able to walk through. Hey, good pair, brother.
Right?
You're doing all right. I'm trying to get like you.
Get right. How you doing? Nothing. Just trying to get like you.
Trying to get like you and you're nuts, man. You good.
Brotherly love.
All right.
Halloween is gonna be so much fun.
That's funny, yeah, man. What you got planned?
So for the week, all right. So there's your Halloween party, and then I'm going to Center City also to go see a drag show.
Oh, nice.
So this is my first time going out to a bar since the pandemic, so we'll see how that goes. And then just some spooky projects too. So I'm also doing a butler.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also doing another little surprise little spooky thing as well.
Oh,
with a little bit of death.
Are you going as a butler?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna go as a butler to the Center City thing.
Oh, I got you.
Because it's a bit more my community, so it's your drag show. So I wasn't joking. I'm going all slut out. Like, all my costumes are going to be a little slutty. Like,
I got you.
I'm turning 30. You know, this is after a while it's like, all right, get this in while it's good, because in 2-3 years, I don't know what my body going to be looking like.
Yeah.
I'm going to be broken down. Yeah. My back might be all the way up to here for all I know.
Yeah, shit, you run up the clock.
We're on like 30 going on 50.
Yeah. Yo, it's no lie, dude. When you hit your 30-somethings, mid-30s, body's just shut down. Just done.
Clack, clack.
Yeah. Just pains everywhere. Just problems. Oh, is that going to kill me? You know? Like,
ooh, that felt... Ooh, that is suspicious.
That's a big one. Yeah. Yeah, it's what it is, dude. Like, I mean, I'm dealing with certain shit. I mean, I should be out jogging and doing shit a little more often, but I ask other people my age and older, they're like, yeah, dude, you're just dying. You know, you're just... You know, I think it's humans weren't designed to live as long as we do. We only live as long as we do because of medical technology.
Right.
So you start to feel it at 35. Because that's usually when cavemen died. It was like 35.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, you're going. Get ready.
Yeah, don't stop being old bitch. It's like they're like, oh, you're fine. You're just dying.
Yeah. The good thing is you only die once. So
that's
okay.
One thing you can.
It just happens once and you're over.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping. Honestly, I mean, because imagine it's like people believe in rebirth, like, and if that is a thing, it's just like so exhausting. It's like I have to do this again.
If you get it, I feel like it should be like a new game plus, right? Where like you keep all your stats. Mm-hmm. You know, so if like I got to show up, I just die and I just show up as a kid. Okay. I should have all my knowledge. It should be in the same place, same planet, and I should have all my knowledge at least. So I can just kind of like a chunk of it.
Some people believe that you do. Like, do you have parts of just natural instincts from like you said? Which
some people have that deja vu washes over them, and they're like, done this before.
You ever hear about the creepy kids who think that they have lived another life? There's books on it and stuff like that. Right?
We used to hang out with those.
No, so there's books on it, and just you can go on YouTube and you can look it up. There are some kids who just, and the creepy thing is they mention stuff that they would not know.
Yeah.
Like the kid who knew about the building that got torn down and stuff like that. Or a war. The kid who said, I went to war and did this and then this other stuff.
Yeah.
They believe it, and I'm like, well, who's to say they haven't?
I think what it is, it's like a matter of epigenetics, right?
Which is...
So like I am me, but I'm also my dad up to the point where he was 25 years old.
Right.
Yeah, and then he split off and did his own thing, and I'm kind of me, and I'm also 25 years of him, and then 25 years of like my grandpa and so forth.
It's like when people say you're taking on your family's trauma, like so you can take like what I mean, generational stuff like that, depression and stuff like that can go to your children and different stuff. I think it's exactly that. I think you have a point, and that's still creepy.
It is creepy. No, because it's like if there's a block in France that hasn't changed for the last 100, 200 years, you have an ancestor that used to live on that block, and you go down and it just feels, familiar.
Right.
I mean, that's if that's the case, that's a game changer. That's mind blowing.
It's like, damn, I haven't been here before, but I feel like I have.
Yeah.
And or if not that, because I see places I feel like I've never been either. Like, and I feel like we are, our ancestors anyway. So like we should feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, just I'll be somewhere and just. I'll feel different. You know what I mean? Just my brain is totally like just open to, it's like I'm not just going about my everyday business. You know what I mean? It's like my brain's like looking at everything and just some kind of like a weird feeling.
A familiarity for some people where it feels familiar, or eerie. For some people it can feel eerie, or some people happy. Places that you just feel you've been before. I think that's so cool. It's just so much that we just don't know or can't really explain, but things that make sense. Like just how you took what I just said and made it make a lot more sense and digestible for people. Yeah. Because it is. It's just like, you smacked at your kids. your kids gonna feel that snack.
Yeah.
In a sense, like, damn, why do I feel like I got my ass beat before? It's because they beat your mom's ass. That's pretty much why.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird that people have those moments sometimes where they're like, been here before, I've done this forever. You know what I mean? Like these weird, it's hard to even really put a thought or an explanation to it. It's just, I'm alive.
Deja vu.
It's like I'm alive and there's something deeper that I don't know. Like it's like a known unknown, you right? It's like I know that I don't know everything. And just the area I'm in kind of reinforces
What is
that.
the word I'm like thinking of? Because there's this show. The Twilight? No, what is it called? Is it
Twilight Zone?
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the black and white ones?
I watched a few episodes, yeah.
Did you the monkey on the plane or the gorilla on the plane is one of my favorites.
Nah,
it is iconic. If you guys know what I'm talking about, there's this guy who goes on a plane ride.
Oh, you talking about the gremlin on the plane?
Yeah, that one is so creepy. It scares me. They try to redo something to take the title on the new version of Twilight. But he just goes to sleep and then wakes up on the plane and there's just this damn monkey gorilla trying to tear the plane apart so the plane could crash. Yeah. It seems goofy, but like that, there's nothing scarier than that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what would happen on me. So I'm like, what are you so afraid of being on a plane? I'm afraid that a monkey is going to be on top of it and try to turn the plane down. That's what I'm afraid of. Absolutely. I don't take it back.
I think The Simpsons did an episode on that.
Did they really?
Yeah. You know, they always have the Halloween,
the Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah. And they just spoof other Halloween stories and scary shit.
They have to be on like episode like 1,000 billionth and 20 by now, right? Because they do it every single year. I think they haven't missed a year barely, right?
Yeah, they got to be up to their 30th at least, right?
Only 30 years?
Yeah, it's been about 30 and some change, right? They started in like 88, 89.
Why does it feel... Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't feel... Right? It feels like just yesterday they were doing the 3D episode. Remember that? Where Homer was trapped in a third-dimensional world.
Okay. So I know... Only what I know from The Simpsons now is what I see on the internet.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in so long. The only thing I usually do is watch the Treehouse of Horror ones.
Okay.
But I just feel so old now from what you just said.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I was thinking this was a show that was like 20 years older than me. Now I'm realizing that
it's about as old as you.
Means that I'm old.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe they keep getting renewed for new seasons. Like, they're still on, right? Like,
they have a blood contract. That show's never gonna.
Yeah, it's so weird that they're going.
It has a blood contract for sure. That and Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, oh yeah. Jeopardy's my jam, dude.
They still do that, right?
Yeah, they still do Jeopardy. They still do Wheel of Fortune.
I was thinking Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking. They have a blood contract that I want to sign. Yeah, that's just guaranteed money. Do you believe in selling your soul to the devil?
Like a Faustian deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Or metaphorically as well.
I wish that was true. Like, I wish I could make a deal with the devil for stuff. I would do that.
Me too. Who's to say I haven't? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jeopardy is the fucking jam. Like the first time you get your first answer right in Jeopardy, not like a $200 question, like another... Like, dude, it's like drugs. You're hooked.
It's like, you stupid motherfucker. Get on my level.
I remember when I found out they had Jeopardy, like, they just had seasons to stream or whatever. Dude, for, like, the next couple nights I was in here, no one's home, and I'm, like, screaming answers at the fucking TV. Whole block can hear me.
It gets intense.
Yeah, it's a Queen Victoria. You know what I mean? Just whatever the fuck. Dude, if you know the answer, you can't just think it or kind of mumble it. You gotta fucking get up and like throw fucking sky kicks and say it, dude.
Like you're gonna win that money. Because the way people scream, they like my mom. Still that way. It's like you swear you're about to get this check.
Oh yeah. Friggin' and sometimes in Jeopardy, like they have these like kind of like pop culture things where like anime and video games. Mm-hmm. They'll throw one in and it'll stump all three of the contestants, and you get it. And you're like, fuck yeah, you're all idiots.
When that's about to pop up, that's when I'm like, because I won't lie, I usually don't have the answers right. When something like that comes out, I'm like, ooh, this is my time to shine. Yeah. So I totally get it. Anytime you can, we all want to feel smart or be reassured that we are.
One time I was like 10 or 11 years old, I just watched every James Bond movie. And they did a whole row of James Bond movie related questions. I nailed them all, and I never looked back. It was the best shit ever.
Did you see the new one?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen all of them. I pick and choose which ones to look at. I do know that I like the one with Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, Die Another Day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that got a little weird because like I like the Pierce Brosnan James Bond.
Okay, yeah, same.
And then they got so futuristic with it, right? They had like that Elon Musk dude, and he had like this suit on him.
Elon Musk.
Remember, he like told the dude, he's like, he had a briefcase with the. Remember, it was like the satellite that like shines a sun ray on shit like a laser. He's like, I need something more ergonomic.
Well, this was around because this was a futurist. This is in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So yeah, I think this. Because I was young when that came out too. We both were.
I was. Let me think. I think I was just turning like 17 or 18 around that time.
Yeah, I had to be like 13.
Yeah. They made that, and then they said, we're getting a little... Because the dude had like a suit that controlled the satellite, and he had the thing on at the end.
Goofy, futuristic.
Yeah, and so I think they went from there, and they were like, yeah, let's tone it down a little. And they went to like this gritty, what's his face? James Bond. What's his name? Daniel Craig?
Is that the new... That's who we had before the new one, right?
That's who we have now.
Okay.
Like the Casino Royale guy.
So I haven't seen many of these new ones.
Okay. Oh, you've seen Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, Sean Connery, all the old ones?
All the old ones before. I haven't seen any of the... Yeah, so I haven't seen the last guy, and I haven't seen the new movie with the girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Now, they didn't make a Bond with a chick yet as James Bond.
I thought that's the new one that's out now, no?
Nah, isn't that a Daniel Craig one? They shot it in 2016.
There's a black woman who's him now. The movie that just got released.
Really?
Yeah.
As the lead, as James Bond.
Well, it's just 007 is what she is now. Am I making this up or am I?
She's the main character in the movie, but it's Daniel Craig still Bond. She's a.
Oh, I'm completely wrong.
She's like kind of like working.
I didn't see a trailer or anything. That's why I just heard that there was a black Bond.
Oh, she's like a Bond chick.
Oh, she's a Bond chick. That's all.
I think there's been talk about doing like a Megan Bond, like a female, but it hasn't happened yet.
See, I be just making shit up, y'all. Like honestly, like or hearing something. Someone give me like a penny, and I'll be like, it was a quarter. Like.
Yeah, they've written a couple articles about it, and yeah, that's what they were talking about. I was like, oh, is the next James Bond going to be a chick? That's probably what happened. You probably read that or saw that.
Yeah, it was a penny I turned into a quarter.
Yeah, that's funny. You know what was good, though? Atomic Blonde.
I didn't see that one.
That's a great fucking film. What's her face?
Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron. She is a... I think she works for MI6 during the time that the Iron Curtain fell. The Berlin Wall.
All right.
It's so fucking good. Because all the music is all like late 80s, that kind of deal.
Okay. And so is it really like...
She fucking kicks ass, dude. She gets beat the fuck up. She beats the shit out of people. Like, there's a scene where, like, she beats the shit out of, there's, 10 floors of goons, and she's trying to get out of the building, and she has to keep fucking these dudes up. It's so good. Yeah, it's wild.
Like Captain America style, where he's stuck in the elevator and he has to beat all, or is it like,
It's like she walks in to get out of the bullshit, right? To not get shot. And there's 3 goons in the building. One tries to shoot her. She disarms it. The bat.
I have to watch this.
But she catches a fucking elbow out of nowhere, and she's like, "Oof! Now I gotta come back." It's really.
Did you see this?
No, I remember seeing previews for it though. I wanted to see it though.
It's so good. It's some of the best fighting scenes I've ever seen because it's so realistic. It really is. But she's so fucking badass.
I'm gonna watch it. Did you like Sucker Punch?
Nah, what's that?
It's kind of what I thought the trailer of what is just badass girls, like sexy girls, like beating ass and kicking ass. But like, I mean, kicking ass. They're getting their ass beat too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But they're you know.
Yeah, I like a believable scrap in a film. You know what I mean? Like a real like. All right, he got fucked up. You know what I mean?
But still made it out.
Yeah. Just like they took it, but like gave it back. It wasn't over. That kind of deal.
How life is, like you know. I love that kind of stuff, and so I like the Daredevil that they have brought to Netflix. The scene where he just fights all the men in that warehouse, and he's just exhausted by the end of it, and he's just like, when is it gonna end? I'm like, that's my kind of energy right there. It's realistic. Life beats you down, but you'll always at least have to try to get up. I can't say you always get up, because sometimes, you know, you just gotta hit the hay.
I like some of the Scott Pilgrim fights.
The what?
Like Scott Pilgrim.
Yes, those fights are.
Like when he fights the skateboarders. Remember they all start beating his ass, but he comes back out. Like,
he gets his ass beat like a little bit every single fight.
Yeah,
but he still always comes through, and even when he. With the girl, for example, even when he you know he wants to be a general, he still comes through. He gets help. She's like, "Don't worry, you don't have to beat her ass. I got you. You're gonna beat like a video game." That's the point. He succeeds. He still gets through it. He even got how do you win against a girl you don't want to hit?
Yeah, I thought the way that fight in particular ended was funny. How he touched her on the back of the knee and she busted a nut and it blew her up. And while she was dying, she was like, "You'll never do this to her." Like, she's bragging on him like you can't make Ramona come
ever. Oh my god! Every time you bring it up or anyone brings up this movie, I have to watch it. I actually want to do a pod just about how meaningful that movie is to me.
Scott Pilgrim. Yo, let's do a one-off at some point. Like, I'm down for that.
The gay roomie, the music, the way the music is making you feel when they're pumping. The vegan, defeating the vegan.
Yeah.
Ramona's her hair color change each time with her fillings and whatnot. Her casualness of.
She's like, dude, get over it. I change my hair every 3 weeks.
Because I'm sure no matter what, everyone's had the boy or girl that you will just want to fight the universe for. Yeah. And that you feel is worth. Even if it's not, you feel that you would fight everyone just for that love. And she hasn't done much. Yeah. But be herself.
Yeah. I had a Ramona once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Didn't work out.
They usually don't. But you remember, you'll never forget it, I'm sure.
I'll never forget it. It was stupid. But yeah, at the moment, in the time, I'm like, oh, this is my Ramona. She's so cool. Now I know I'm just a fucking idiot.
Same. I have a Ramona too, and I'm a fucking idiot.
That's what it is. That's what it is when you watch Scott Pilgrim. You realize, oh yeah, this is how you feel when you're like in love and you're like horny for somebody and you really dig them and shit.
Nothing else matters.
And then when you mature, you become a grown ass man. You realize like, oh yeah, that's a young man's game. Being like, oh, I love this chick. I'm gonna do everything for her. You know?
I think it was written like that because in the end, even though they go off to it doesn't seem like it's for sure that they'll be together. Yeah, we are doing a cast on this movie because I'm already like getting in my feels talking about it. So yeah, ooh yeah. I
don't even like now. Like I had a phase where I was like a Scott Pilgrim level romantic, right? Like literally yesterday, so a chick tried to get me to open up and be like, oh yeah, like I'm really into you and all this shit, and I was like, yeah, not really. She sent me. Chicks do this at some point. This is like an aside, but it's so goofy. Chicks will at some point they will make a gesture. They'll make a move, and they expect you to kind of. Like, they just want to hear out of your mouth that you like them and that you care and this is going somewhere and it's worth sticking around. You know what I mean? Yeah. The last 2 times chicks that came to me with this type of, ultimatum, I'm like, forget about it then. This chick sent me a video of her deleting her POF profile. And I told her right from the jump, I'm like, look, we're just talking. You don't have to delete. You know what I mean? We're old. Like, she's almost 40. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, we don't do none of that shit. Let's figure it out. If it's cool, we'll move forward.
Right.
But just give it a sec. You know what I mean?
Before you start, like, still taking away all your opportunities, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I told her, I'm like, give it a fucking minute, right? Because, like...
Is that how you said it?
Pretty much. I was like... that's how I did it from the start. I was like, hey, let me see if I can...
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think we should have a fucking... Yeah, I told her right from the rip. I'm like, look, let's figure it out. We're both adults. Let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? Let's Let's apply that kind of energy to it, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, you got your life, I got my life. My life's great. I don't need you. Vice versa. But cool, if we come together, we link up, we enjoy each other, give it a fucking second, right? And yeah, I told her too, don't delete none of your shit, talk to whoever you're gonna talk to, do the whole 9. And then if we coalesce naturally, cool. And she sent me this video and I'm like, yeah, that's great. And she's like, oh, I guess you don't give a shit. And I'm like, you ruined it, right?
Oh.
She played her hand so bad, right? Because I was already kind of like, all right, I'm just here. You know what I mean? I'm not, oh my God, I'm not like a hater. You know, I'm just like, we're good.
And you were honest too.
Yeah, exactly. I said right from the jump, I'm like, don't do none of that shit. And she does that shit. And she gets mad that I don't like reciprocate the gesture. I'm like, nah, you just ruined it. You fucked this up.
You lost. You played yourself.
Yeah, it's just like...
Congratulations.
Yeah. I guess we were in this position where, like, it was her onus to impress me somehow.
Okay.
That's just the dynamic.
Right.
And then she does that, and she's like, man, I like you. Like, I hate that chick. Here's how it works, like, with the straights, right?
Like, with the streets.
Chicks fall in love with you because you're cool and you're the fucking guy, right?
Okay. And
somehow to them that translates into that we need to fall in love back. Like why? Right? Like she sees the coolness of me, and that me being the man, the lonely soul, and she recognizes my shit. I love her for that. And it's
Does
like,
that be a formula, like kind of you're saying? Or
yeah, it just feels like, hey, why? It's like, why am I in love with you? Because I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the shit and you like me because of that. Why does that translate into me giving any kind of... Yeah, you're the one fawning over me. You're the dumbass. Right?
Okay.
I wish I'd listen to that. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like...
I feel like it's a formula. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's a bit of a formula. Like
it is sort of a A lot of relationships are like that. There's a lot of dudes that have a chick and they kind of match, but the dude's like, babe, just fucking step off a little, you know? Like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, just hey, but you know what I mean? Like there's relationships like that where like the dude's a total douchebag, and the chick's like, fucking come on, can we get it together? And the dude's just off in the fucking woods somewhere. You know what I mean?
What do you expect? What do you expect? My thing is, I feel like you see and know what you're getting, and the older you get.
Yeah.
And you want the douchebaggy ass dude. Like, that's why you were talking to him in the first place. You saw that, and you get surprised when the douchebaggy ass dude acts like a douchebaggy ass dude.
When he just continues to be a douchebaggy dude.
Right.
When just, hey, I've been telling you who I am from the fucking jump.
Literally.
Yeah. And did you think you think a gesture is going to be like, oh my God, like this,
I can change him.
Yeah, this is not the Runaway Bride. It's not a Richard Gere movie. Like, you know?
Literally.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just like, and the problem is, I used to be this hopeless romantic dude. That used to be a thing to me. Oh man, like, I used to be trying to make that gesture to a chick. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I want you know how much I dig you and shit.
My baby, my sweetheart.
Yeah. Some chicks eat that shit up, and some chicks are like me, how I am now, where I'm like, oh, fucking cool with the whole I like you shit.
That's where I'm in life now too. I think it's gross. Like I'll be like that. I think it's honestly, I think it's the most ghetto shit I ever heard. Now that's where I'm in. That's where I'm in life. It's just not for me right now.
Relationships are supposed to be like a long game of cricket. Where like, you know what I mean? Where it goes back and forth and just some people are scoring and they're on a run, but like it takes time.
Right.
That's the thing. What it is now, I realize you can't rush into this shit. You can't be like, oh, you're just a hole. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's have a life. Nah, it's like give it like let me be your friend
first, right?
Let me enjoy your presence. Exactly. Yeah, it's a thing of like I hold my friends over the people that I date. You know what I mean? Like if we're dating and you're upgraded to friend, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. That's like, oh, I actually like hanging out with you. And then we'll figure it out. And then it's not going to be a big fucking deal. And then, yeah, we might end up or whatever. Cool. You know what I mean? But, like, I got to like you first. You know what I mean? It's like...
Because when you're not horny, then what else? You know, if you don't really like them, but you just like having sex with them, or the only chemistry you have is, like you said, just a hole. Yeah. It's like, when I'm not horny, I don't want to be around your ass.
Yeah.
So now, like...
Yeah, it's like several molecules got to lock in place when you're like, oh, okay, And then that's just the start of it. That whole fucking magical connection. Mm-hmm. That's just the jump. All right, let's see how long this lasts now. Is it half a year, 2? You know what I mean? Like, because you can have the most perfect fucking relationship in 2021, 2023, but, you know, by the time the new Dune drops, I could be done. I could be like, yeah, I'm in some other place.
Yeah, it takes a good year to know someone, I feel like, too. It takes a good year it's easy to like someone, but to know them, it definitely takes a lot longer. So, like, I think that's when out of everyone I dated, I didn't really see their parts I didn't really like until a good year after.
You got to see them operating in all 4 seasons.
Yeah, there you go. That's
right.
What you got to.
Right, they're cool for the summer, you know what I mean? But, like, otherwise, yeah, let's see what you're doing in late fall when it gets cold. Like, how are you acting? That's really what and then it's the flip side, too. It's like in a year or 2, you know, if she's on some other type of time, I'm never the enemy of progress. If a chick I'm usually rock bottom for a chick. So, like, if a chick, after knowing me for a year or 2, and just kind of, like, soaking up my tutelage and just, you know what I mean? Shit like that. If she's now just a better person, and she's like, I got to fucking move on. I'm like, good, go. You have to. You got to get the fuck out of here. Because, like, if, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm cool, if you're looking up to me when we meet, you know what I mean? Like, that's bad, right? But if you level off at some point, you come to your senses, all right, where are we at now?
Well, what about the leveling up together, though?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, because you're also me too, I'm just like, if anyone's like, what the fuck, you're crazy. You know, why are you over here, man? But level up together.
Yeah, I guess that's the ideal situation.
Because none of us are perfect. We're all, you know what I mean? We all got our shit. Honestly, we're all trying to just make it in here. Some people are just, they're a little header in the game. You know what I mean? In the video game, they've been playing a little bit. They have more lives or more points or more, you know. And they pass through just a little bit differently. So what their boundaries and what they deem for them might be a little bit different.
People if they're in a relationship and they're at different levels, they gotta respect each other's levels.
Right, exactly.
Like he's up here, she's up here, but like moving up, just keep, you know what I mean?
Never with just like dealing with. You have to be okay and content with it. Otherwise, you're gonna use that against them in the future or resent them.
And you gotta be, especially me, like I usually date younger chicks. You know what I mean? So like, it's sort of, you're in it for the long haul a little bit. Where you're like, all right, you're here, you're cool, everything's good. When you get older and you start being more of a bitch, then we gotta figure that shit out. Right? You know what I mean? Like,
that's so funny.
Yep. It really is just having, now that I'm 35 and I look back, I'm like, oh, I always date a little under, you know, my whole life I've tried to date early 20s.
Okay.
Even when I was late teens. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just always been my age range. And yeah, when you're older and you're like, oh yeah, she's a little younger. She hasn't figured all her shit out yet. You know what I mean? She has fucking she still has a few rocks in her head. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you watch that shit, you watch all that fall off, and you watch him become a person, and you're like, oh, fuck, okay. But yeah,
I usually have dated, like, so for me, I usually date or have interest in older men. So that dynamic, it's definitely, the age dynamic is definitely there a little bit, and they are watching it and that kind of sense a little bit. But for the person who's younger or the person who's older, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna be making you have some fun now. You know what I mean? I'm like, here, get out, do this because you're. I'm giving you some more fun because you're probably, oh, I don't want to do this, so I'm pushing you to have a little bit more fun and like let your guard down and stop being so like granny. Where the other person is also keeping me at, you still got to live life and like these things are important and have some stability and whatnot too. It's a half and half that both should be kind of giving each other.
Yeah.
But when it's not right, it ain't, because I don't like being told what to do, and I don't like people thinking that they're...
Oh, you don't like being condescended to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. An older dude being like, listen, Sonny, I know what life is about. You're like...
Right. And they probably don't like me being like, I want to go play and do, you know what I mean? So it's just like...
Oh, you probably tired these dudes out where it's like, fuck that dude. I just want to lay around. Can we chill? All right, you bump.
Like, let me put some makeup on you.
Yeah. And
do you hate me? Just kidding.
Yeah. No, like, dude, I just want to watch Trading Spaces and whatever the fuck. Flip this house.
Right, literally. Yeah.
They just want to chill the fuck out. And you're like, let's go. Let's act like we haven't lived in the city all our lives.
Do you know what cosplay is?
Yeah. That's funny. See, a chick like that, actually meeting a chick like that would be cool. Like someone who's like, hey, that shit keeps me kind of young. A chick that's like, hey, shit's young and fresh and I'm alive and moving it. You know what I mean? Like someone who still has a zest for life.
Right.
I try to date chicks like around my age and older, and they're fucking horrible. They're done. Any chick that's single right now is 35 and lives in America on the fucking East Coast is a train wreck, dude. Mm-hmm. They're fucking ridiculous. I mean, maybe that, maybe that's suitable for me. Cause maybe I'm equally as fucked up, right? But like, oh god, they're all just horrific. They meet and they're like, all right, so you want to get married, right? Like, that's on the table. Like, dude, can I finish my fucking appetizer? Like, we're already discussing this. Like, you're like, yeah, it's nuts, dude.
Time to get married. We got to have the kids. You've known them for a week. It's like, we got to do this thing now.
They're at least, like, checking it off. Like, hey, we're not doing this now, but I just want to know we're still... It's like, what do you want, my resume? Should I fill out a fucking survey before we start? They do.
What do you mean? That's what people want nowadays, it feels like, for me. What's your credit score, this and this and this and everything, your social security, your resume. I need to know, And in a sense, I might get it too. I guess if you... I just don't understand why you want that at one...
I'll tell you this, an older dude who wants to build you as a person, who's like, hey, I'm a couple steps ahead of you, let me help you out. That's cool. I think older people find some kind of... They enjoy a relationship like that, where they're like, hey, I'm here, you're here, let me give you a few tips, let me level you up. You know what I mean? Let me help you, let me get you on the fast track of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Even if that's not far, it's just, let me give you the tips. So I think that's cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, if it's... Yeah. If you ain't ready for it, if you're like, hey, dude, I'm golden, I'll figure it out, then yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Yeah.
They get mad at you, like you said. Like, to get mad at someone for giving you their true character, like you did, she honestly played herself and then played herself again. The girl you were mentioning, because she's getting... For all the men that don't tell the truth and that like act like they're Prince Charming, and then you find out later that they're a Disney villain, Mel.
They kiss the frog and it just stays a fucking frog.
It stays a frog.
Yeah.
You should be happy anytime someone is giving you the honest truth, because then you got rent with them, a kid with them. You don't like your kids now. You know what I mean? You're trying to...
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Oh, I'm the best dude on the market because I'm just...
Literally, right? Because
I'm just honest of like, yeah.
Few. Not most men are like that.
Like, I think you're a 6, but you're okay. You'll do. Like, just that kind of shit. Just keeping it all the way real. Like,
and more people need to be like that in general, because like...
people have just gotten used to gamifying that shit. You know what I mean? People are always trying to duplicate their last best relationship. Like, they're trying to make it happen again. It's like a serial killer pattern. Where they're like, oh, cool, let's just start the thing and see.
Like you.
Yeah.
This show, I don't know if you watched.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think you meant like me, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, isn't that what he's doing?
Literally. He's doing, each time he's trying to build the version of the woman that he wants. And if it's not good, he's ready to.
Which is funny because you can just, hey, it ain't working out. I gotta leave.
Yeah. You're not becoming what I want you to be. So at this point,
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna erase you from existence.
Literally, that's where he has it differently. That's why I like the show. It's just like I invested too much into you, and now I gotta go kill you, and start over.
That is great. They're coming. Is the third season already out? That shit?
I don't know if it's out, but I think we finally got a trailer for it.
Nice. Yeah, I did kind of like that show from the jump. It's not bad.
Oh wow! So do you think you might meet your Ramona?
No.
Really? You are just because you said that. I feel like for people.
Yeah, I feel like I'm right. I'm not aiming for the fucking target, so I'm gonna hit the target.
Now it's gonna smack you like right in the forehead.
Yeah,
you don't want it.
There are 4 billion women on this planet, right? So it's just like, all right, there's a lot to choose from, right? I mean, I don't fucking know. Like, maybe I'm in the wrong time zone. I don't know. I've just never met a chick that I'm like, oh, okay, I can deal with her. She's all the way real. She's cool. You know what I mean? Chicks have a way of like, there is this chick that I dig. That like, we can get down. I don't know where to deal with. But, I don't know. Chicks in general are like, they will sell themselves to you as, hey, I'm this, whatever you're doing. If dudes are into sports, chicks are like, oh yeah, I like sports too. You know what I mean? Like, they're always being the fucking chameleon on you, right? Yep. They're always trying to like, I hate that shit. I'm like, yeah, just be you and just be an interesting, do your thing. You know what I mean? Just be an interesting person. I'll just latch on here and there. You know what I mean? We'll deal. You know what I mean?
I don't know why to feel the need to like lie about the sport thing. Like you said, a lot of people, I won't lie, I've done that before too. Where, I'm like, okay, sports, like,
yeah.
I don't, and they ask you like, so what's your favorite team? And you're like, what? Whatever your team is.
The Philadelphia Mets a thing? Yeah.
Because they know that that's what guys like. That's was the whole goal.
Yeah.
Is to be everything for the guy, I guess, in a sense. And the guy is supposed to, like I said, I'm glad I don't live in the 40s where it's just you're supposed to take care of a whole household and work and then take, you know what I mean? The woman doesn't work, but like, I don't want to have to spend that much money. All you get is laid.
I think if I'm making bank, though, it's like, I would do that. I'd be like, all right, you just chill with the kids. I'll go out and fucking swing dick all day. You know what I mean? On these fucking sales calls.
Well, see, the thing is, they can have time. They could go to work and cheat and do it all. It's not like now, what you make ain't enough.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's unfeasible. You got to be a fucking elected official.
You're like literally selling your soul for one pumpkin. You know what I mean?
Although people say that, but like, I think if you're on the right career track, like, you can make it happen. I don't know.
Yeah, for some.
I feel like some people just, like, I know a couple that they both collectively make great money, like, if you tie it together, but they just live in too expensive, you know what I mean? Like, you're always, what's the fucking, what did Jay-Z say? Bigger plates, bigger food, or whatever, right? It's like, wherever you're at in life, you know what I mean? Your salary doubles.
This guy really just did that and made me look like that. You try to do that on purpose. You asked me about a Jay-Z verse, I don't even know what you're talking about, and now I feel like
You mean Sean Carter?
I'm like, who?
Nah, he said something about, like, basically, like, wherever you're at in life, if, let's just say your salary doubles, suddenly all your bills double.
Yeah, okay.
That kind of thing. Yeah, and it's like, I don't get that whatsoever. Like, at least with the couple I'm talking about, I'm like, they could downsize, they got a kid. They could downsize into something like, that costs half of what they're paying for.
We don't want to, though. People never want it.
But it could still be in a nice area, like they're going for that nice preppy shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you can do that on a fucking... Like, dude, if I was making great bank and I was like, let me get my own spot, I wouldn't go big. I'd say, hey, man, let me get a crib for... I mean, houses right now are 100, 150 grand or whatever.
You're sensible, though.
Yeah, and so many people just aren't.
A lot of us aren't. I try to tell people about the stock and the investments and the different, the help that you can get. There's so much help that some people who are broke, like, there's no even reason, like you're saying, to be broke, but they're just not being sensible enough. broke is it's a mindset in a sense.
Yeah.
And now I realize that like some niggas are just, you're broke because you just think broke thoughts.
Yeah.
And
broke just flows through your fucking DNA.
Like,
We cut it.
and what I mean by broke thoughts are, you're literally staying in one mindset. You're not trying to get out of, you're just being okay with being broke or not trying to find a different way. There's always a way. There's always someone you might know who can help you get out of a situation. You're just so content and lazy a little bit too.
Yeah.
And that's why you're always going to be broke. You're not going to have money. There is money out here. It's just, we're just not trying to go after it. I don't even care if you try to just date somebody for money then. Like, honestly, that's not my suggestion. But if you do, the people who are doing that are onto something. You know, there's still, it's just like, if you're going to be lazy and not try to find a way to make the bank yourself, then date somebody else. If you just stay and just be content and being broke, then you that's on you.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like, if you're broke, date somebody that's got money. Just do it. Just, why not? Yeah, I think it's a weird thing where, like, people just get used to their circumstances. They just buy, they buy into a system.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, I make X, I spend Y, and I just stay broke, right? And, like, I don't think there's any use in saving money when you ain't bringing in. You know what I mean? Like, when your net gain or whatever isn't that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can save $100 a month, don't even do it. What a waste of time. Like, my theory in as far as like that shit goes is, at some point in life you need to have been broke for a while, right? And you need to have had access to money.
Mm-hmm.
These two things, you got to do both though. Mm-hmm. Because if you just stay broke, you don't know what to do. You don't learn about finances and investing and assets and shit, right? And if you only know money, like if you only bring in money, you know, you've never been money insecure, you never save money.
Right.
You never make smart move. Like, case in point, like when I was making like decent money, I didn't save none of that. I was just like, cool, it comes, you know what I mean? Like, I grab it with the left hand, I spend it with the right. Just, boop, cool. Yeah, just, you know?
Got to receive, though.
I had to have been broke for a little bit and realize, oh yeah, I got nothing, and I got to get back up to where I was. To now I have this greater appreciation of it. Like, oh, it's a game, it's a thing, it's a different kind of system than what you think, right? Because now once you have both of those understandings of money, you can say, all right, cool, I'm here. I just have to work hard and make the right moves and get to my goal, which is X money.
Exactly.
And you just keep doing it, and you just, whatever it takes. If you just get less sleep and you work harder and you do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's a game that you can play.
And you gotta be in both positions, like you said, to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do I? Also knowing, like to feed off of what you said, I had to realize that, like, when I was realizing that I'm spending exactly what I make. Or I'm, you know what I mean? There's an app I have where it tells you how much you make and how much you spend, and it's the exact same. So it means I'm living paycheck to motherfucking paycheck out here, and I didn't even know it.
There's people who make, upper 5 figures, 6 figures. They do the same thing because they just think, oh, cool, man, I'm making all this money. This money's always going to be coming in. I can just spend it, right? It just goes back in. You really get smart when you're like, hang on, let's chill on ramen noodles for a year. Mm-hmm. Let's take money, and that's the big. I think that's the cheat code is invest in things that will later be worth more.
Exactly.
Right, because when you have cash, you're investing in cash.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just have $10,000 in your bank, it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. You got it, and it's being eaten away at about 3% every year.
Yep.
So it's like you got to find the thing. You just have to invest in the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That later, when you need money, the shit comes back double or triple or 5. You know what I mean? So it's just that's like the cheat code to it.
You got to be bringing in something and find a way to whatever you put in to be able to bring revenue still in that way as well. For me, is one thing I also suggest as well. Banks, I think, are ridiculous. You should credit, I realize, actually will help you in the end. It's good to have some credit. It's good to find a way to get cash back also. If I'm gonna spend $4 and I can get 50 cents back, all of that eventually will equal up. But people get so like lazy that they don't even want to do that. It's being done for you.
There is just smart moves you can make. You were saying like get down with a credit union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good move because it's a bank but made up of people. And hey, when I need a loan for something, let me go to you.
And they're not eating up all your money the way regular banks will, like Citizens Bank or something like that. Because those overdraft fees add up.
They'll kill you on that, and they'll just kill you by giving you, 0.1% return on your money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, dude, you kidding me? Like, when I first got a bank account, like, a money market account gave you, like, a 1% return. And they used to give a healthy, like, a 5 to 6% back in my pop's day, that kind of shit.
And they charge you too. They charge you for like you're paying to if you don't have a certain amount of money in your account.
Yeah.
They're charging you for that. So they're charging you if you don't have $500 in your account.
Yeah.
They're charging you if they have to go into your savings to take savings and put in your checking. They're charging. It's a scam.
Yeah, it is. It's just charging people for being broke.
Mm-hmm.
Being broke is the most expensive thing.
There's nothing more expensive than being broke.
Oh yeah, having to go to a check cashing spot and they take points on your check just to cash it. Oh, dude. Fucking one of my nuts just fell off, dude? Like that hurts.
It made my stomach hurt what you just said. Well, that's because I'm hungry too, but like
yeah. No, it's brutal, dude. It's that. It's fucking. It's all these little fees they whack you with along the way, and you gotta fucking just, if you're just on this like mindset of just, oh yeah, shit's fine, I'll just keep, you know what I mean? I'll just make X and spend Y, and it's a static number. I mean, you got to do the math, right? Like, figure out what you make every year.
Yeah.
And then times that by however many years you got left, 20, 30, 40. And figure out, oh, yeah, that minus taxes, that's my lifetime earnings. If you're comfortable with that number, cool.
Fine.
But if it's just, oh, cool, I'm just going to die broke.
And how will you know unless you calculate? Most people don't calculate, so they don't even know. Like, how do you know if you're living paycheck to paycheck until you know?
People don't even think ahead. People just think, oh yeah, I get my check, and it's just like that. People are like dogs. They just think in 6-second intervals, right? They're just like, cool, Friday I get paid. I knock out all my bills. I got 100 left. Let me hit the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to get pussy. That's it. And the rest of it is just like, it's just the end of the tape.
That's
you know
all.
what I mean? They're just blank space in their future. They got no. They're not thinking of
like we get up the Groundhog Day. We get the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Same result.
Yeah.
And then because like when that's why I say it's just like there's no excuse for broke people. It sounds messed up. And at one point I've been broke. I used to be offended by people saying that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, no. Yeah, if you're broke, that's your fault. And not your fault, but if you stay broke, then it's your fault. And women who say they won't date broke men, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I get it.
If you suffer from being broke. Because I think some people are like, I mean, look, I'll take a massive pay cut in general just to have a lot of free time. You know what I mean? Like, if I can kind of make a little something, then I'm good. I mean, that's kind of why I don't make the money I used to. But your boy got a lot of fucking bullshit in time. So it's great, If that's the situation, cool. But brokenness doesn't emanate from that.
Mm-mm.
Brokenness is like, I'm broke. I got all this free time, and I hate myself. I hate my life. That brokenness is just not liking what you're doing. As long as you're good, you can work. You can arrange it how you like.
And what broke is subjective. Like it's what whoever what I mean.
Subjective.
Because the person who wants to live in the forest and the woods and to have the what I mean, if they're happy and that's okay to them, then it's fine. But when you're not okay with it, you're broke. That means you're broke. If you're here and you're making this and you don't have enough to get what you want and you're unhappy, that means you're broke. You can't afford what you want.
Yeah, you set your own broke threshold.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you're like your expectation goes up, I'm broke now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because for someone else, what I mean, you can't tell me that that's how much money you need for you or what you think is for you, but not for
Yeah. Well, a buddy of mine, when he started making decent money, he was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, you know what I mean?" This dude basically wipes his ass with money, right? And then, like, 6 months, a year later, you ask him about it, he's like, dude, I'm in debt. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I got a house, I got a mortgage. I'm right. He got financially literate overnight. He was like, I'm fucking broke, dude. I'm back to broke. Like
BB, back to broke.
yeah, it really is. It is a subjective thing. I mean, there's people on Wall Street that end up, they walk away with 7-8 figures, but they fuck up so much money that they decide to like hang themselves.
And you have to, even if you have money, are you going to be, if you don't hold on to that, buy that big house with all that, money that you got, what are you going to do if you lose that money? You got a lot of electric to pay for and gas to pay for and water for this big old house that you now can't afford.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that. When I get rich, I'm not going to buy a super hooper big old house just for the fact that I don't need it and I don't want to be, it's not. It's not feasible.
It's the filming house. It's a TikTok house.
Yeah.
It makes money.
For what?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I mean, like
rent it out. That's what you should do. Rent it out and make money on that house.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
the smart thing to do.
All these TikTokers going viral. Look, you move in for free. Give me 5%. If you pop, we're golden. I'll live in the fucking duplex down there.
Pimp out. This is time to pimp. Pimping is in so many different ways, and that's what you got to do. You got to learn how to play the game of life if you're not content. You know what I mean? I'm not rich or anything like that, but I'm not miserable. I'm not like being like, oh man, you know what I mean? It's the facts of life.
Yeah. And when you're on the path too, that's cool too. Mm-hmm. Because I think when you don't have options in life, when you're just like, I'm broke and I got no moves. You know what I mean? When my king's up against the fucking side of the board. All right, now I'm really broke because I can't go anywhere.
Right.
There's that old saying, like, you don't have a pot to piss in. Mm-hmm. You know where that comes from?
No.
So back in the day, you could just piss in a pot. And, like, certain people just needed urine for, like, experiments and other bullshit. Like, it was just, there's ammonia in urine and all that shit. Mm. So you could just sell your piss. And this is old school. This is like 19th century, early 20th century shit. And so if you didn't have a pot to piss in, like, you couldn't even piss to, like, sell it to make money. Right? It's like not having bootstraps.
Oh, you don't even have a pot to piss in.
Yeah, it's like not having bootstraps to pull up. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. It's just like, yeah, you can't even get off the fucking block.
I've used that so many times without knowing the meaning.
Yeah, not funny. It just, I don't have the means to even get to square two.
I just thought it meant you was broke.
Yeah.
Which essentially, but like I didn't know where it literally came from.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I love etymology. I love learning about shit like that because it's like, oh, that fucking came from a place. Like people actually use, like all those goofy ass sayings. People actually had a reason for.
I feel like I learned something like new from a time before I was born. Every podcast with you.
Yeah, I'm an ancient.
Yeah. Who needs school? You know what I mean? You got the ancient teacher right here.
Who needs school? You got the Don. I'll talk to you. I'll make you play Assassin's Creed. That's
fee.
all the schooling you ever need.
5%.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to be like closing this one out. Before we do, I just want to wish you guys a happy Halloween, a happy October. Be safe out there. Don't get into too much trouble. Drink, have a good time responsibly. Don't drive. Bring a coat if you're gonna be dressing like a slut.
Fucking whore.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Don't eat too much candy.
I'm talking to you too.
Lock your doors.
Hey.
Because you know the Don's out there. You never know.
I'm out here turning doorknobs.
So be careful.
I want to see what's in your house.
Yep. Hide your kids, hide your grandma,
Lock up your liquor, bolt down your beer.
Definitely. Don't be broke. Don't stay broke. So if you are broke, hopefully you learned a little something from this episode that it definitely is your fault and you definitely should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Go trick-or-treating for some fucking money, you bum.
Right. Resell that candy for like bum. Just like, I just smell bum.
Yeah. Flip that candy.
It reeks of it in here.
Hang on until April. It'll be worth more. Goes back up. It's worth shit now. You can buy so much money. You can buy so much candy right now for nothing. Wait until it goes up in summer. Double your hustle.
Literally, that's like super smart. Maybe that's what I'll do. I think that's gonna be my get rich scheme. I'm gonna get all the candy from this Halloween. I'm just gonna hold on to it, and when it's more, I'm just gonna sell all of it. I just have to keep it up. See, that is another solution. There's no reason to be broke.
Follow us for more financial tips.
Literally, for 5%. Nothing is free over here, right? The
Yeah,
only
yeah.
thing that's free is to watch the podcast.
We
But
want-
anything else, we're charging.
Yeah, we want points on that shit.
Literally.
Send it right to my PayPal.
Yep. PayPal, Venmo, and if it's not money, you know, you can negotiate some things. Don't get me wrong. Money, you know.
You can do something strange with some change.
I love to do strange shit for change. So I'm sure you guys do too. Happy Halloween. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook,
Out to the parking lot.
in a dark alleyway,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter for our ghetto bitches, and YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So this is actually our second video YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoy that. We did video for our last one. Clips should be out if you're watching this now already.
Clips are in the pipeline.
We might show you a little something from the Halloween party, and I think that we should talk about the movie Scott Pilgrim.
You want to do it? You want to do a bonus one, like not in episode 6?
Yeah.
Like a side.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you guys, because I was literally about to cry talking about this movie with him for a second, and I had to stop myself. I definitely want to do a podcast about that.
We're gonna do a whole episode on Scott Pilgrim. It'll be November, so we're gonna be dressed like pilgrims. And stay tuned, motherfuckers.
Thank you. We appreciate everyone who gives us a watch. Happy Halloween, bye guys!